There are moments in life when you fall to your knees, not because you've given up, but because you can't understand why Allah is delaying something your heart has been yearning for. You cry, you plead, you ask again and again. Oh, Ya Allah, why not now? And yet silence greets you. No sign, no change, no door opening, just waiting, endless waiting. But here's the truth few understand. When Allah delays, He does not deny. When He holds you back, it's not to punish you. It's to protect you. Sometimes that job you didn't get would have destroyed your peace. That person you wanted to marry would have broken your soul. That dream you chased so hard might have made you forget who you are. And Allah, in His infinite mercy, whispered to your destiny, "And not yet. My servant is not ready. The path is not safe." So He delayed it. He delayed it to strengthen your faith. He delayed it to build your patience. He delayed it because the blessing you're asking for is still being shaped for you. Or maybe you are still being shaped for it. We often think waiting means nothing is happening. But with Allah, waiting is where everything happens. It's where your heart is purified, your ego humbled, and your soul learns to surrender. Think about it. When a seed is planted in the soil, you don't see its roots growing. You don't see its roots growing. You don't hear the sound of life forming beneath the surface. But the delay before it blooms is the most sacred part of its journey. So too, your delay is sacred. It's not emptiness, it's preparation. And sometimes what you call a silence from Allah is actually His loudest mercy. A mercy that says, if I give you what you want now, it might destroy what I have planned for you later. When Allah delays, He is telling you, my timing is better than your desire. So don't measure your life by how quickly your prayers are answered. Measure it by how deeply your heart still trusts when they are not. Because faith is not proven when everything goes right. It's proven when nothing goes right, yet you still say, Alhamdulillah. Maybe you've been waiting for months, maybe for years. Maybe your dua has been the same since you were young. But know this, every time your lips move in prayer, the heavens record it. Every tear that falls is not lost. It's stored in the vault of divine mercy, waiting for its perfect release. And when that day comes, when the door finally opens, you'll realize every delay was a shield. Every not yet was a not this way. Every unanswered prayer was a blessing disguised in patience. So don't rush Allah's plan. He is never late. He is never early. He is never early. He is exactly on time. The time that will protect you, grow you, and lead you to what's truly yours. Hold on. Keep walking. Keep believing. Allah delays not to punish you, but to prepare you, to protect you, and to deliver you. Right when your heart is ready to receive, when Allah delays, it is never because He wants to see you suffer. It is because He wants to protect you from what you cannot yet see. Sometimes we look at our lives and think everything is falling apart, that nothing is moving forward, that the doors we keep knocking on remain locked, no matter how many times we try. But what we fail to understand is that those closed doors are shields placed by Allah Himself. He knows what is ahead, and His wisdom sees beyond what our eyes can comprehend. The job you desperately wanted, the relationship you thought was perfect, the plan you built your hopes around. Maybe each one carried a hidden storm that would have crushed your spirit or distanced you from Him. And because He loves you, He said, wait. The delay you hate is actually the barrier that protects you. It is a pause filled with unseen mercy. It is a moment where your destiny is being rewritten with precision. Not by coincidence, but by divine calculation. When a believer understands this, the heart begins to trust even in silence. Because Allah's delays are not empty. They are full of movement, full of divine orchestration that you cannot yet perceive. While you cry thinking your prayers are ignored, Allah is busy preparing the path that will bring you peace, not pain. Every second of waiting is a part of your growth. Every unanswered prayer is an answered protection. If you could see the entire picture of your life the way Allah sees it, You would fall in prostration out of gratitude for every delay that once broke your heart. The timing of Allah is flawless. He withholds only to give you better. He delays only to guard you from harm. And He tests your patience only to purify your faith. So when things do not go your way, remind yourself that the delay is not rejection. It is redirection toward what your soul truly needs. The believer who understands this walks through hardship with calmness, knowing that every pause from Allah carries purpose. Every delay is protection, not punishment. Patience is the mirror that reflects the strength of one's faith. When everything seems delayed, when every prayer feels unanswered, and when every effort appears wasted, that is the moment your heart is being tested. Not to break you, but to show you how deeply you trust your Creator. Patience is not about sitting silently while you hurt. It is about standing firm when your soul trembles. It is the calm that says, Allah knows, even when your eyes are filled with tears. A true believer does not lose hope because of delay, for they understand that Allah's plan is greater than their understanding. The world teaches you to rush, to demand, to expect immediate results, but faith teaches you to wait with peace, to believe even when nothing changes, and to stay grateful even when the heart aches. Every moment of patience builds your strength like unseen layers of armor. It transforms your waiting into worship and your silence into submission. When you hold on, when you still raise your hands and say, "You are Allah," after countless disappointments, you are proving that your love for Him is not based on how quickly He gives, but on your belief that He always knows what's best. Patience is not weakness. It is a quiet form of power. It takes far more strength to stay calm in uncertainty than to fall apart in fear. Through patience, Allah elevates your rank, purifies your heart, and prepares you for the blessings that require maturity to handle. Every trial that demands your patience is polishing your soul, removing arrogance, and planting faith deeper within you. Sometimes the delay continues not because Allah has forgotten you, but because your heart is still learning what it means to truly rely on Him. When you finally understand that patience is not a pause, but a process of purification, you begin to see every waiting season as a sacred opportunity to grow. You start realizing that Allah never withholds without wisdom, and you stop asking a when and start saying a whenever you will, it will be best. That is the essence of patience. A heart that surrenders, a soul that trusts, and a believer who knows that with Allah, delay is never loss. Every closed door in your life carries a reason that your heart may not understand today. But one day you will look back and thank Allah for keeping it shut. When something you desperately wanted slips away, it feels like a punishment, like life is turning against you. But the truth is far deeper. Allah does not close doors to hurt you. He closes them to guide you toward a better path. The pain you feel when things do not go your way is a sign that your heart was attached to the plan, not to the planner. Each rejection, each unanswered prayer is a redirection, a divine message whispering that what you are seeking is not meant for you, or not meant for you yet. We often see rejection as the end, but in Allah's wisdom, it is usually the beginning of something purer. Oh, the relationship that broke, the dream that failed, the opportunity that vanished, all of them are part of a greater script written with mercy. When Allah removes something from your path, He is not taking away your destiny. He is protecting it. You might have been walking toward harm, and His mercy closed that door to save your soul, your peace, or your future. So instead of asking a why me, try whispering a thank you, Allah. Because when one door closes, it is only to direct your steps towards something that fits the purpose He designed for you. You may not see it now, but one day the wisdom behind every delay and denial will unfold. You will realize that every time you were stopped, you were being steered. Every time you were refused, you were being rescued. What you thought was rejection was in fact protection. And what you thought was loss was only a lesson wrapped in patience. The believer learns to trust that Allah's no is never cruel. It is the kindest response to a prayer that you didn't know was unsafe. So when a door closes, do not break yourself trying to reopen it. Step back, breathe, and say, Ya Allah, guide me to the one you have written for me. Because His plan will always lead you to what was meant for your peace, not your pain. The timing of Allah is perfect, even when it feels painfully slow. What seems delayed to you is unfolding exactly when it should, in the way that will benefit you most. As humans, we measure time by minutes and years, but Allah measures it by wisdom. When something doesn't happen according to your schedule, it's not because He has forgotten you. It's because His divine clock never runs early or late. Sometimes you think you're ready for the blessing, but the blessing is not ready for you. Or sometimes what you ask for would arrive too soon and destroy what you have yet to build within yourself. Allah knows when your heart is strong enough to handle the responsibility that comes with the gift. So He makes you wait, not to test your patience for no reason, but to prepare your soul to receive with gratitude, not arrogance. Every delay is like a chapter being written quietly behind the scenes. You can't see it, but Allah is arranging people, events, and moments so that when everything finally falls into place, fits perfectly. Not a second too soon, not a moment too late. What feels like stillness in your life is actually movement in the unseen. The believer learns to surrender to this timing, trusting that when Allah writes your story, He never misses the right moment. Sometimes we want immediate answers, but immediate results can come without depth. Allah delays to build roots, not just results. Results. The deeper your roots in faith, the stronger your gratitude will be when your prayers are answered. And when the time finally comes, it will be so clear why it couldn't have happened earlier. You will see that the pain, the confusion, the waiting, all of it was a setup for something far better than you ever imagined. The perfection of Allah's timing teaches you to stop rushing destiny and start trusting the process. Because when He decides the moment has come, no force in the world can delay it further. His decree arrives like light after a long night. Never too early, never too late, always exactly when your heart and your life are ready for it. Struggle is not a sign of Allah's displeasure. It is a stage of transformation that reveals who you truly are. When life becomes heavy, when doors close one after another, and when your heart begins to break under the weight of waiting, that is not the end. It is the beginning of your strength. Allah allows struggle not to destroy you, but to teach you how strong your faith can become when tested. Without hardship, faith remains untested, shallow, and fragile. It is through pain that you discover the depth of your patience, the sincerity of your prayers, and the purity of your trust. Every hardship is like fire refining gold, burning away weakness, pride, and doubt until only sincerity remains. The longer you endure with faith, the stronger your soul becomes. What once made you cry now teaches you endurance. What once made you fall now teaches you how to rise. Struggle transforms you from someone who merely believes to someone who lives that belief. Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear, and yet He pushes you just enough to awaken the strength you never knew you had. When everything is easy, your faith sleeps. But when life tests you, your faith stands up and speaks. Every setback, every sleepless night, and every unanswered prayer is shaping you into the believer Allah wants you to become. So when you are tested, remind yourself that Allah is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He is strengthening your heart, polishing your patience, and building your character for the blessings that require maturity to hold. The pain you feel today will one day be the story that inspires others to keep believing. And when the struggle finally ends, you will realize that you didn't just survive it, you were rebuilt through it. What felt like breaking was actually becoming. Your tears watered your faith, your patience became your weapon, and your scars became reminders of how Allah carried you through every battle. Struggle does not weaken the believer, it awakens the believer. It reveals that even in your darkest moments, Allah's strength was always flowing through you, turning every hardship into hidden mercy. Your tears are not signs of weakness. They are silent prayers that reach the heavens before your words ever do. Every time you cry out of pain, confusion, or longing, Allah hears it all. He knows the weight behind every sigh, and the story behind every tear that falls on your pillow at night. People may not understand your silence, they may not notice your struggle, but Allah never misses a single drop of your sorrow. Each tear is recorded, each one carries meaning, and none of them are wasted. Sometimes those tears are a form of purification, washing away pride, ego, and attachment to this world until only sincerity remains. When life brings you to tears, it is often Allah's way of softening your heart so it can receive His mercy more deeply. There are moments when you cry because you cannot explain what you feel. But even those unspoken emotions are understood by the one who created your heart. Your tears are not a weakness to be hidden. They are evidence of your connection with your Creator. They prove that your heart still believes, still feels, and still turns to Him when everything else fails. The believer's tears are never in vain. They are stored with Allah as proof of patience, faith, and surrender. The Prophet once said that the eyes that weep for the sake of Allah will never be touched by the fire, and that is the power of a sincere tear. It holds value beyond what this world can measure. So when you cry after your dua, when your eyes fill during prayer, when you whisper His name through trembling lips, know that you are being seen and heard by the one who never sleeps. Allah's mercy descends with every tear you shed sincerely for Him. Even when you think nothing is changing, those tears are watering the seeds of your answered prayers. They cleanse your soul and draw you closer to His embrace. The believer understands that tears are not signs of despair, but signs of faith. Proof that even in pain, the heart still turns towards Lord. So, never be ashamed of your tears, for they are the language of your soul speaking directly to the one who loves you most. Trusting Allah beyond your understanding is the highest level of faith. It is easy to believe when life makes sense, when prayers are answered quickly, and when everything seems to fall into place. But real faith begins when nothing goes according to your plan, when silence replaces answers, and when every turn of life confuses your heart. That is when trust becomes a choice, not a feeling. To trust Allah is to say, even though I don't understand, I still believe you know best. It means letting go of control and allowing the one who knows the unseen to guide your steps, even when the road ahead looks uncertain. Sometimes Allah hides the wisdom behind His decisions so that your heart learns to rely on Him and not on explanations. The mind seeks logic, but the soul seeks peace. That true peace is found only when you surrender to His decree, when you stop demanding to know why and start saying Alhamdulillah regardless. You rise to a level of faith where nothing can shake you. Trust is not blind, it is seeing with the eyes of belief that Allah's plan is flawless, even when it breaks your own. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every delay carries divine purpose, and your task is not to question it, but to walk through it with patience and conviction. The storms that confuse you today will one day reveal the wisdom that held you together all along. When you trust beyond understanding, you find comfort in knowing that Allah's knowledge has no limits and His mercy never fails. Even when you lose something precious, He replaces it with something your heart truly needs. Even when He removes people from your life, He is making space for peace you didn't know you were missing. The believer who trusts Allah completely stops fearing what's ahead because they know the author of their story is the most merciful, the most wise. Faith at its core is surrender, not passive, but powerful. It is the strength to walk through uncertainty with calmness, knowing that Allah never writes a line of your story without purpose. Trusting Him beyond understanding is not easy, but it is where miracles begin and where true peace is finally found.